It's Monday, May 4th. I'm Aaron Whited.
I'm Ryan Todd.
And welcome to The Lodge. All right, y'all, a lot of big things have happened here around the parts of the Lodge since the last time that we talked. Ryan, of course, 2 birds down in South Carolina and tagged out, and I finally got a bird on the ground with the help of Mr. Ryan Todd.
You know, doing bird killing things, having a lot of fun.
Doing
this
bird
season.
killing things.
That's right.
Hey, I've heard Ryan say 100 times, I am in the bird killing business and business is good. And I definitely have to say, I think he might be a turkey assassin. I think he might be.
Good chance.
It was definitely one of those hunts. So Ryan and I got together for a hunt. I've got a few permission pieces throughout the upstate, and it just worked out to where Ryan had some time and I had some time too, and we got together to try to get a bird on film. And I would say, what do you think, Ryan? We 72% got the bird on film?
Yeah, for the most part. Obviously, a little holly brush in front of him, and at least from my angle, trying to film it. But you definitely see him flop as soon as he hits the ground and everything as the shot fires. So it's pretty good.
Dude, that had to be one of the freaking sketchiest, like we are definitely going to get busted kind of scenarios in the moment. After and looking back at where we were, I don't think that bird, and you said it too, I don't think that bird would have seen us. But
no,
in the moment, you just don't know.
Yeah, we just happened to have everything kind of pan out perfect to where we were hid in the perfect spot. He couldn't see a thing, even if he was looking our direction, as good as his eyes was. It was beautiful the way it played out. So if you want to go into story time, this is your time to shine, big dog.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? We might as well. Let's just dive right into story time. So this was a couple Sundays ago, and it just happened to work out that Ryan and I could get out in the woods together. And wouldn't you know it, it was the first time that rain was in the forecast in a month and a half.
Oh, yeah. We've been going through an awful dry spell.
Dude, Lake Hartwell right now is some areas that you'd fish a deep channel. Right now, it's kind of like fishing in a mud hole.
Yeah, looks like a golf course out there right now. It's terrible.
Yep, it really, really does. Well, anyway, so rain was in the forecast to hit, 7:15, 7:30, something like that. And Ryan lived close enough to the spot that he was able to actually put the bird to bed and was like, okay, I am pretty sure he went to bed down here in this valley. And I was one of those, like, I live too far away to do it. So I was like, you know what, brother, I'm trusting you 100%. And I was not wrong for trusting Ryan 100%. We get to the truck. And so basically we pull up and meet, and we're there at the truck. And Ryan goes, I have an idea that this is going to happen, and we're going to get out of here pretty quick this morning. He goes, this dude was hot going to bed last night. And we get there. We head in the woods. What time was it, man? Like 6:15 we head in the woods?
Yeah, we were trying to beat, gray lights. About 6:15, 6:20, I would say, somewhere in that time frame.
We were just creeping in, trying to walk through. It had already sprinkled a little bit the night before. It sprinkled just a little bit, nothing overly crazy. But everything was nice, and I don't want to say it wasn't too crunchy. Like, it was pretty easy to keep moving through. And Ryan, I gotta give you props, man, for being Legolas, for being a one-legged individual. You move through the woods 1,000 times quieter than I can, and you weren't even trying.
Yeah, well, that's how I was raised, just to be as quiet as possible, sneaking in and out of the woods. I don't know. I guess it just stuck with me even after the wreck, to where to where I could be stealthy.
Heck yeah. Well, I mean, I was taught the same thing. We're cut from the same cloth there, but being 6'5", 250, walking through unknown woods, anything and everything I step on or step near, I'm gonna break all to pieces.
This is true. It's not, you're not like me. I'm 6'1", 210, and I don't have as much leverage per se.
But we were walking through and come to this really cool little spot to where it started. I guess it was kind of an uphill from where we thought the bird was going to come, and he had plenty of cover and stuff around him, so he wouldn't have seen us coming up through there. And I was tucked more to the left, and Ryan was tucked to the right with the camera. And we get set up sitting there. It's just really pretty sitting there watching the world wake up. And at about the time that we thought that we should be hearing Mr. Old Tom gobbling down there in the woods, we don't hear a thing. We don't hear anything.
Nope.
Ryan lets out a couple little tree yelps for us, and I look over at him, and he looks back at me. We're just like, this is weird. Maybe he's not up yet. And at about that time, from directly over my left shoulder, we hear, "Cow!" This bird lights up.
Yeah, he's 2 trees behind us, which is stupid. We walked under him, had to have walked under him going in, right by that tree.
He was so freaking close to us, and he gobbled so loud, I couldn't tell where he was. Like, it was everywhere and nowhere all at once. Like, it was so loud on top of us.
Yeah.
And at that point, we start sitting super still, and and it was funny. It was funny because you get to see 2 grown men kind of go, crap. Because we had decent cover behind us, but nothing like what we had in front of us. Like, you're not planning to be 360-degree covered. You're not in a friggin' blind. You're just out in the woods. And it wasn't a minute and a half after this joker gobbled that Ryan leans back to me and said, "He's on the ground. He's up there on the right side. He's on the ground." And and a couple more nice little soft calls. Ryan was trying to throw the call kind of off to the left to get the bird to come down to where we were, because he was up the hill above us. I couldn't see him at first, and Ryan had a clear view of him, and Ryan goes, "This thing is a freaking giant turkey." And for somebody who has put a lot more birds on the ground than I have to go, "This is a giant turkey," that's when I start going, "Oh, baby."
Yeah, no, he's an absolute unit. And I thought he was going to leave the way he pitched down and was walking away from us, but soft couple yelps and a cluck or two, and that joker turned right around, fanned up, and then started slowly creeping up to us.
He was coming down the hill on our right side. Now, granted, Ryan's on my right side, and I am facing more to the left. And this is how you know you've got a lot of trust in a buddy. Because Ryan leans back to me and goes, "You're going to kill this freaking bird." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to swing. I'm going to swing when he gets behind a tree." And Ryan goes, "Well, I'm going to duck down." And I'm like, "Duck way down." Because I had to come directly over top of Ryan. I kept safety on and all that good stuff. I mean, I'm never going to put anybody at risk or put anybody in jeopardy to try to kill something. But it safely, as sketchy as it seemed, safely, I was able to swing over the top of Ryan. And there was a little tree between me and him. So the bird gets behind a tree, and I pull a freaking ninja shotgun move, swing over, and now I'm leaning up against what we had as cover behind us, and I'm on the other side of the tree. Ryan's basically laying on his back with his camera, with the camera pointing across at the bird, and this bird's coming down the tree line, and he dead stops after he come out from behind a big old white oak. He dead stops and just fired off one time, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is awesome," because he was huge. He was, no kidding, a monster turkey. He gets about, I don't know, maybe 10 more steps down. He's about, what would you say, Ryan, 18 to 22 yards?
Yeah, I'm leaning just inside 20 because he was right in our face whenever he finally got into where we could get a clear view of him, or at least you could get a clear view of him to shoot him. Obviously, I had that holly tree in front of me and him, but he was in our lap. Super close.
And at about that time when he made it about, I don't know, 10 more steps or so down the hill, put the bead right on his wattle and let it hammer, and that bird ate the dust. It was awesome. Like you can't put together a hunt that had a mishap in it. You can't put together a hunt any better than that. Like that was just freaking awesome.
No, we should have blew that hunt. Is the thing walking under his tree and obviously he pitched down going away from us, and I was like, this joker's not going to come in. And I had miscalculated where I'd roosted this bird at because I thought he was going to be, like I said, down to our left. And that's why I put you to our left instead of the right. And then, no, I was wrong. He was right over top of us.
I mean, it worked out. You can't complain about something being wrong at something, then it working out. Like that was so freaking awesome, dude.
No, it was incredible. You want to talk about kind of the specifications of said bird? Because this is a unique bird in itself.
Yes, I will. Well, so he bird we'll go with 16 to 18 yards. I think that works. And the funny part is on the video, just where I had to shoot at, and I shoot a Kicks Goblin Thunder choke with 3.5-inch Longbeard XR number 5s, and Ryan is close enough to the barrel end to where he was just like, yep, can't hear nothing. Oh God.
Dude, my ear rang for a couple hours after that. Funny enough, like at church, I was still sitting there messing with my ear because, I had time to cook breakfast and everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were back in the truck headed out by, it was 7 o'clock. Like, we beat the rain. We were literally loading back up in the truck before it started raining. You can't time it any better than that. Well, we get up to this bird. And number one, he was a big old Tom, and I just wanted to check out his spurs. And he was laying there dead, and then started doing his little twitchy thing. And I looked down, and was like, okay, he's got some hooks on him. But then when he finally stopped, and I got to take my foot off his head, when he finally stopped moving and looked down, this joker was a double beard.
Yeah, sorry, rascal. No, congratulations.
Oh man, no, thank you, man, and thank you for putting in the time for me. Like that was awesome.
Easy, man. I love it.
Like you can't be, and especially I've said this so many times in so many different ways. Like you can do awesome stuff on your own all day long. You can go out there, you can have the best deer hunt of your life, you can have the best duck hunt of your life, but there's nothing like being able to put it together with a buddy, and then basically, I don't care who you are, you can be the straightest man on the planet, you're going to hug that guy next to you like you've never hugged anybody before when it all comes together.
110%. You get fired up, and it's such an emotional roller coaster. It's incredible, just the camaraderie and just the excitement, something super primal, and just everything coming together when it shouldn't, was awesome.
Dude, it was great. And then the fact that he was a double beard, my wife for years has said, no way, no chance are you going to full body mount a turkey. And because when I got home, I was like, honey, look at this. And pulled his head back, and she goes, oh, it's a double. And I went, yep. She goes, you want this full body mounted, don't you? And I said, yes, ma'am, I do. And she said, okay.
Well, for those that didn't see your pictures that you put on Facebook either, if you look on the inside of his wings too, he had like a partial color phase to his wings that was like a really, really caramel brown. It was gorgeous, and that's not super common on these birds either. So he's just a rare bird in himself, It was incredible. Just big hooks, big mature bird. Did you ever weigh him?
I didn't weigh him, and actually, I still could. He's still in my freezer downstairs right now. I can get in there and weigh him out.
You're getting out Joker mounted. I forgot he was going to be in the freezer.
Yep, he's in my freezer here. I could actually pull out my scale and go down and measure him. I'll do that and let you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Text me that later whenever you figure it out. Cause I'm genuinely curious. If I had to guess, he's probably somewhere around the 22, 23 pound range, which is a big Eastern.
He's a daggone heavy bird, dude.
Yeah. Obviously you go to other states, you can kill them 27 plus pounds and those are giant birds. But for here, if they're over 20 pounds, that's a big bird.
Dude, the craziest, the craziest part about all that is when you have a bird that's that heavy, like they move different. It's almost like seeing a big mature buck in the woods. They don't do that little, you know how hens will just kind of teet through the woods. Yeah. When you get a big old joker, they have like a swing and wobble to them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, they've got I don't want to say a swagger about them, but they definitely got like a confidence about them to where it's just like they know they're in control. They're the baddest thing in the woods or whatever, they're just confident. That's the cool thing, like a big buck walking through there. He's slow, but he's confident. He's strong. Turkey, same way. They just waddle that rope swinging and, they know what they're doing. They've got it figured out.
Hey, ladies, look at this. Swing, swing.
Yeah, if I had a beard like that, I would too.
Amen to that. Well, so we even set up in the spot that we thought this bird was going to come. We even had Henrietta set up down the hill. Like she was down there just ready. But Henrietta was there. She was a part of it, but she didn't get to play a role.
No,
she was there in spirit.
Yeah, she didn't have any influence because he never even made it down there close to her. Had her on the complete opposite side.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and like I said, after looking through on that one, I thought for sure that if he got down level with us, I was like, he is definitely going to see us. If he gets like dead, flat with us, maybe 180 degrees straight line from us, I was like, he's going to see us. And then when we got away from the spot and looked back, I was like, okay, now this is kind of making sense. I don't think with as much little stuff that was around us and we were covered up pretty good, I don't think he'd have seen us.
No, not until he was 10 yards in our lap. Like he was going to be, extremely close the way he was traveling through that little white oak corridor next to that deadfall we were up against. And obviously, I'm glad you killed him when you did. My ears got a ring for a couple hours after that, but it was well worth it because, I don't know if he would have seen us or not, but we were really well hid. It just happened. The good Lord smiled on us.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, weather and everything. Now, you were saying, so our last recording, we recorded is in April, but we recorded, and for some reason, the end of our recording got messed up a little bit. You were telling me a story, and I got to hear the story, but I think everybody would enjoy hearing the story, that you had another close encounter with another buddy of ours.
Oh, yeah, talking about Tyler.
Yeah.
Trying my best to get this joker on a bird. Took him to a property that I've got access to, and this sorry rascal, similar circumstances, but I took my kids to school because this is how I normally get to hunt. I don't get to hunt them off the roost very often, unless it's a weekend or, my wife is freed up from her job to where she can take the kids to school, just the way our dynamic kind of works. But anywho, so I take the kids to school. I'm in my camouflage and I'm parked, at the property, drinking my coffee, and I'm listening, and there is a bird absolutely hammering his head off, and it is insane how many times he's gobbling and just fired up. I call Tyler. I'm like, listen, man, you may want to hurry up. I know you're taking the kids to school and you live an hour away, but this bird is stupid hot. And so I'll listen to this bird for another 30 minutes. Tyler's like, hey, I'm about an hour out. I'll get there as quick as I can. Well, I guess traffic being the way it is, it took him an hour and a half to show up, and this bird's went quiet at this point. I'm like, okay, I know he's in the area. I don't know exactly where he's at. But Tyler gets to the spot with me and we get out, get all our stuff. And I'm like, listen, one of two things going to happen, but I'm probably going to give you your chance if I can get him to strike up, because it's sitting, trying to think what time it would be at this point. It's just after 9, the hens are about to go to nest here shortly and stuff like that, because they've been on the ground for a couple hours at this point. But anywho, we ease through this thicket and get amongst some white oaks, and we're not far from a pine thicket where they like to roost on the edge of, and then they pitch down. There's a couple pastures and stuff like that we're sitting between, which is, a kind of a highway for these birds. Well, we get halfway back to the spot that I wanted to sit where I've seen birds in the past. And I just, yelp and throw a couple quick cuts in there and then a really aggressive yelp on the end, and absolutely cuts me off and just throttles it right there. Just pow. And I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. This bird's, 200 yards away. We still got another 100 to go. So we're going to try to get there, before he gets within visual distance. So we're rushing, trying to get to this spot, and we get almost to this set of deadfalls and all these brush and stuff that I like to sit amongst. And I was trying to get, Tyler to get situated, and he throttles again. But this time he's like 60 yards. He's already cut so much distance that I didn't realize.
He's running to you.
Yeah, basically he was coming in running. I go into panic mode. I'm like, dude, sit down right here. I'm dropping on the floor, like right here in these leaves, and we're just going to see what we can do. Well, dude, we didn't get sat down good. And all I see is, Tyler's eyes got real big, and he's getting excited. And for those that don't know, Tyler's never really turkey hunted. He's never had anyone taking him. He's never really had an interest in it because he's not done it. He's a deer hunter, but he's never really got into birds. And when I tell you that boy's whole body was trembling, and I look at him and he's whispering to me. He's like, dude, he's right there. Like, this bird is coming. And he hammers again. I softly yelp and kind of like cover my mouth and just really lightly pitch behind me the sound. And he hammers, and then he hits full strut, and I can see him at this point. And Tyler's like, dude, he's like 55 yards. I'm like, yeah, he's close. Well, this bird starts creeping up through there, and me and Tyler are sitting like 6 yards apart, just a few feet away from each other, but to where we're able to whisper to each other if need be. And I'm watching this bird come up this gap this whole time, and I'm like, dude, why is Tyler not shooting this bird?
Shoot the bird.
Yeah,
shoot
exactly.
the bird.
Yeah, I'm like, kill him, Tyler. He's like, dude, I can't see him, because the bird had stopped and like stood up, like kind of perked up. You know how they do when they're kind of looking.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking at this bird, and this bird's 35 yards from me. I'm like, dude, this is killing range. What are you doing? Smoke this joker. And he's like, dude, I can't see him. He's behind a white oak. And I'm like, dadgummit. So we're sitting there trying to be real still. This bird's looking all around, looking our direction. And he starts doing like that alarm putt. Like he's,
oh no,
obviously he don't see the hen that's called to him or was really aggressive a minute ago. And he knows something ain't quite right. Well, he comes out of, he was in strut, and then he stood up, and then he started his alarm putt when he knew something wasn't right. And he started doing that, like that little head bob, like lightly walking, trying to get out of there.
Kind of trying to telescope and walk at the same time.
Yeah, no, he's bobbing pretty good, and he's putting, and I'm like, dude, this has got to happen now or he's out of here. And I'm telling Tyler, I was like, dude, the first halfway decent shot that you get that's clear, shoot this joker, kill him. And the bird gets to like 40, 42 yards. Now, granted, Tyler's shooting a 20 gauge with Remington Nitro mags, but that's a good load. But I don't know if it was just excitement or if there was just too much between him and the bird. But when he shot, that doggone bird just plop, 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 just flew off, and went off into another another area, he got the heck out of Dodge, which I don't blame him. And I felt so bad for him because he just kind of hung his head. He was real defeated. And I was like, buddy, welcome to turkey hunt. And that happened in a whopping 10 minutes.
Yep.
We sat there for another hour and a half and just stayed quiet for a little while, trying to see if he would gobble on his own and fire back up, because he didn't know what was going on. He just knew something wasn't right. And obviously getting shot at was not fun for him, but Tyler never touched him. And I'll tell you how I know that here in a minute. But anyway,
well, the crazy part with turkey hunting that's unlike so many other things is unless you've done it before and seen the kind of situations that you're playing with and dealing with and whatever, like, number one, you don't get a perfect shot. And I don't remember if this part recorded or not last time, but you don't get a perfect shot. It's literally you're doing so many different things as that bird's walking in. Number one, you're checking, especially in South Carolina, to make sure you're not dealing with a jake. Mm-hmm. You're also then checking to see, okay, how far is this thing? You're also then checking, do I have a clear shot, and is he going to see me? And then you're also checking what's behind him. So it's like there's so many different things happening that's different than deer hunting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of similarities and things that correspond really well between the two, but at the same time, it's just a different ball game, and it's happened in such a short time frame. Most time turkey hunting, you're on the ground. I don't know anybody that hunts them out of like lock-ons or tree stands, whatever, so it's just not a thing really. So it's just a different ball field, and they can see so good. It's unreal how good their eyes are, but yeah, so it's night and day different. People don't realize that unless you've experienced it and been through the school of hard knocks, what it actually takes. And sometimes, it's just you're going to do dumb things and it's going to work out. Sometimes you do everything perfect and it's like, you can't get the job done. It just ain't going to happen. The Lord was like, not today.
Well, for sure. And whatever year it was, I'm trying to remember what year it was. The year before they outlawed jakes in South Carolina. What was it, 23?
Yeah, that rule went into effect for the 24 season, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a couple years.
Yo, we're not as sophisticated. We're not as sophisticated as Joe Rogan. We can't tell somebody to go Google it for us real quick.
No, listen, I don't have that kind of pay range to get somebody to do that really quickly. But no, it's been a couple seasons for sure, which I think has helped. And they dropped our limit from 3 to 2 the same year. I think they outlawed killing jakes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for kids, I wish they kind of kept it to where it's like, hey, you can only kill one bird. And if it just so happened to be a jake, that would be one thing. But that's just kind of my thoughts on it, just keeping the youngsters excited. But I do agree, sure, gobblers is, the best way we could do it. And we get 2 a year. I'm almost wondering if next year if they don't drop it to 1, which I wouldn't even be mad at that.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings. But what I was going to say with the jake deal, and the reason I brought up the jakes is because I took a buddy with me that year, whatever year it was. We went and he was sitting, kind of beside me, adjacent to me, and I was calling, and we had 2 birds. One I was pretty sure was a jake, just from how he was answering my call.
Yeah.
And then another one, he gobbled like a big boy, and I'll get to that in just a second, but he gobbled like a big boy and he was acting like a big boy. And it was definitely one of those situations to where it's like, I don't know what you are or not. From a distance, I could not tell what he was, but I definitely was like, you're probably going to get shot. So 2 jakes, they come up the hill to where we are, and we're in some pretty thick stuff. And my buddy's sitting there, got his gun up, and he's looking in the direction that one of the jakes is coming. Well, I know it. So, shocker, they were both jakes. One was a super jake for freaking sure.
In case you're wondering. Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, he's sitting there looking, and a jake pops up the hill, and I lean over to him a little bit and say, are you okay with shooting a Jake? And he goes, yeah. And he's sitting there looking, and he's like, where are they? I'm like, shoot him. He's like, where are they? I don't see him. And I'm like, dude, he's right there. Like, shoot him. And the thing I guess I didn't realize is a lot of people first time and you're in thick stuff, they blend in, number one, really, really well. Like they for sure blend in really well. But number two, you got to know the general height of their head. Their head's what you're going to find when they're moving through the woods. You're not going to find the body because the body looks like everything else around it. Like their head kind of sticking up like a crane is what you're looking for. Yeah. And this red head is right there in front of us. And I'm like, shoot him. And Buddy ended up not shooting because he didn't see it at all. Yeah. Like I thought he was messing with me, but he did not see him at all. And then I played the video back for him and he goes, you can see my feet in the video. And I'm like, I know, there's your feet. And the bird was, maybe 20 yards off of us, but yeah, they hide really, really well.
Well, most people don't realize either, like, how to truly see things in the woods. And I know that sounds crazy in a sense, just because.
No, you're dead on.
I could see fine, but, most people don't know how to pick up on subtle movement or, stuff that doesn't exactly, I don't know the proper word for it, but stuff that's not supposed to be there normally or awkward movement. Yep. Like you'll catch a deer's tail flicker, you'll see their ear move, something like that. You're not seeing the whole animal, you're catching a portion of them move, and then you can see the outline of them.
And then checking the rest.
Correct, yeah. And then your eyes allow you to kind of see that depth because, they blend in well with their environment. That's the way God made them, to where, they can obviously survive from predators. And it's a really incredible thing when you start learning how to see things in the woods.
I try so hard when I'm hunting any sort. I'll scan, but I scan with like I'm a predator in mind. And I know that might sound cheesy and silly, but I try to scan with I am searching for, number one, you said it, what doesn't belong. I'm trying to find the thing that doesn't match what's happening here. And if you do that, like I watched a video from the hunting public and it was really eye-opening. If something is moving to you, like linear with you, then it's basically invisible. Like it's kind of crazy. Even a human walking towards you in the woods and there's cover around and they're walking straight towards you, there is not a lot to catch or flag your vision. Now, just like with deer hunting and whatever, if you can find a crossing route somewhere and something's moving horizontal with you or kind of like perpendicular to you, kind of making a cross or crossing in front of you, it's crazy how easy it is to see stuff.
Yeah, well, when stuff's adjacent to you, it works.
Oh, yeah. If something's moving right to left, it sticks out like a sore thumb. If it's moving straight, it's kind of like, what am I looking at here? But turkeys, they don't stay still. You can't go and get a turkey to stop. They don't give a crap. You better move with them and move smooth with them.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I shoot more turkeys lightly walking than I do having them absolutely stop. Now, I will do like a soft yelp or do something kind of oddball. Like I may
lock them up
or something like that. And they'll kind of like pause for a second. When they pause, they'll stand like fully up and they'll like silhouette for like just a brief split second, as long as you don't like startle them. And that's about your best time to shoot. But I've shot so many just, walking or coming in, as soon as they come into my bead and just squeeze the trigger off. And, it's a great way to kill a turkey. But if you can get them to stop, like a deer, it works out even better.
Oh, for sure. Well, like, I don't know about you, but I've watched a lot of turkey videos and a lot of different stuff with turkeys. And these guys that let these things get into like 10 yards and put on a show in front of them, I don't know, man. I'm sitting there trying to read body language and just like is he aware of something going on? Oh, he's acting funny. He's acting funny. I'm gonna shoot him now. Like I can't sit there and just be like, let's watch this show for a little bit. All right, he's done showing. Now I'm gonna shoot him. Like I'm like, you're here, you're gone.
Yeah. No,
which is probably not the
old.
best for videoing.
No, not good for the video content, but I will say that's how I was raised is just, the first good ethical opportunity you get, take it. Don't just, fool about, nothing like that. But that being said, I don't actually like getting birds close to me. Your pattern's a lot tighter on your gun, especially if you got a good choke. And I've actually missed birds. I mean, like point blank from just pure adrenaline and, being in a slightly awkward position trying to spin onto a bird, really close and missed him. Versus if he's like 30 yards, 35 yards, that's like my favorite spot to shoot a turkey because everything's had time to spread out. And, you could be off a small margin and still kill that bird effectively. So I do think there's like too close with a bird.
Well, it's wild to see. Like, I watched something the other day. I can't remember what they ran this turkey through. Like, it was either an X-ray machine. I don't know exactly what they ran this bird through. But it showed this now, granted, would I have taken this shot? Probably not. It was like a 75-yard shot with a 410 with some TSS.
Holy smokes, that's a long ways.
You got that right. Like, it was a wide open field, and this person had, I don't even know which 410 it was, but it was a really cool looking single shot 410, probably a CVA, like CVA Scout or something like that. It had a really cool red dot on it, and put it on and shot, and they ran this thing through, it was some sort of imaging, and I'm wanting to say X-ray, but people don't flog me if I'm wrong, but they ran it through. This thing had 2 pellets in its head. And that was it. It had 2 BBs in its head, and that was it. And it killed it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you. I don't like those odds right there.
No, I don't either. I mean, obviously, I'm glad they harvested the bird and they didn't just put 2 pellets in its wing and cripple it or something like that. They actually hit it in the head.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like mine to be a lot closer, and I like to hit them with a whole lot more pellets.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely get the job done. Now, that being said, have I killed birds at 50? Absolutely. But I'm running 12 gauge, 3-inch magnums or Longbeard XR 3.5s on some of them. And I'm very, very comfortable and confident in my equipment to get there because I check it every year. But I don't know about pushing 70, anything past 60. I wouldn't feel good about safely. But to each their own. If it's good, it's good.
What's your take on shotgun gauge and turkey hunting? Do you have any thoughts, or are you just like, I have a 12 gauge that I'm like, for me, for instance, I have a 12 gauge that I use for pretty much everything. I've got a Browning A5 Wicked Wing, and I rock and roll with that sucker from the duck swamp to the turkey woods to whenever I go up to Virginia and do some shotgun hunting for deer with my buddies up there. Like, I run that thing for everything, and I know what that gun's capable of, and I know what that gun's going to do. And I just like being familiar with my gun.
Absolutely. Now, I do have some thoughts as to, why it would be better in other circumstances to have different gauges and stuff. I do prefer a 12 gauge. I can handle the force of the recoil, everything like that. That's never been an issue there. I like having a little bit of knockdown.
Being on the business end, though, with the sound isn't too great.
No, it's definitely deafening. But I think 12 gauges.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I think 12 gauges are great for just pure knockdown, getting the job done, meat and potatoes kind of thing. But that being said, the other caliber or the other gauges have their place. 20 gauge is a great all around. You could just shoot slugs out of it. You can kill turkeys with it. It's a great gauge gun. 410s for those that don't want a lot of kick, like my kids will shoot a 410. They've shot 20s and stuff like that, but the 410s don't hurt them. And they're not as nervous to shoot it. So I definitely think they have their place. And for the guys that don't want a lot of weight or something like that, a 410 is great. It cuts down on that weight for those that do a lot of hiking and those that are going to buy higher end bullets and stuff like that, such as the TSS loads. You spend a lot of money on them, but they have a lot more penetration at distance, and they're a little more lethal. So I can understand the reasoning behind it. I think that's all personal preference, but whatever you can comfortably handle and safely handle, that's what you ought to shoot. But I feel the more the
For
better,
sure.
Just because I like increasing my odds of lethality and just being humane and ethical with these animals, that we're taking their lives. We're harvesting this game, and that's not something that we just sneeze at, or just do it for fun. It is exciting, but at the same time, it's very humbling because, we're consuming this animal to nourish our bodies, to give us energy and strength to carry on in everyday life. And it's a really, beautiful thing that we are blessed to be able to do.
Amen to that, man. Couldn't have said it better. Like that is it. And the experience, it's so cool. Like the experience is so cool all around. And a lot of people definitely, I think, get the wrong impression of hunters. Like, you guys are just killers out there. It's like, no, there is way more to it than that. Like,
yeah.
I have just as much fun. And that's why, like, you and I've talked a ton about rolling off, taking turns filming versus, being the one behind the gun or one behind the bow or whatever. Because I just love watching them. Like, it's incredible. It's almost like you're getting to see something that you shouldn't be able to see, like watch nature as nature is naturing, I guess you'd say.
That's a really cool way to put it. But no, I do agree with you. It's nice to slow down from, the fast paced lifestyle that everybody's living nowadays with technology and stuff, and to kind of revert back to simpler things and just watch it unfold before your eyes is really, really neat.
Well, it takes a lot, when you really stop and think about it. It takes a lot to be able to make hunting work, because when's the best times to hunt? Crack of dawn and right before dark. And if you've got work, if you've got a family, if you've got whatever, I mean, you've got to make some sacrifices. You got to choose. And that's, you want to be as fair and equitable to everybody in your life as you can. And you just got to, you got to make the right choice. I've got buddies who spend all day, every day of the season in the woods. And then I've got will literally work night shift or whatever to stay up all day, every day and do this stuff. But then I've also got buddies who are very strategic about what they do. And I'm only going to go hunt on this day because this day seems like the best. And I'm going to put all my chips in this basket right here, which, I've seen both of those buddies kill some freaking hammers, but at the same, whether it be deer, whether it be turkey, whether it be whatever, I've seen both do some bang up job, and I fall somewhere right in the middle. Like, I like to try to, I like to play the trail camera game and see what I can get on trail cam or see what I can get sign wise and give myself a reason to really dive in. I don't like to dive in blind, even though sometimes diving in blind works great. Yeah.
Well, I could argue both ways on that, as far as trail camera, no trail camera, and keeping it exciting because you never know really what's going on. It just gets that inner child excited, I guess. But
for sure.
But no, I agree. Being opportunistic as to when you hunt, hunting weather fronts or just hunting whenever you actually are able to outside of, your daily obligations, which is different for everybody, priority wise. Hunt within your means, for sure.
With the way stuff in the hunting world goes now, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. There are a bunch of opinions out there.
You got that right. Well, and I think a lot of hunters fall into the game of just like golf. Like, man, I suck with a driver in golf. I need to go get a new driver. Or, man, I missed a deer last year with my bow. I think I need to go get a new bow. I can promise you it's not the bow, nor is it the driver. It's the person that's operating it. Put in time, practice.
Yeah, learn your equipment. I could go kill him with my dad's, 20-something-year-old LX, or I could kill him with my elites that I shoot now, like my exalts and stuff like that. And I'm not going to have any issues either way. That deer's going to die. but you got to know your equipment. You got to do your due diligence. And that's a big thing we see at the shop, obviously, as you well know. People will be I missed a giant deer. How much have you shot this bow? I got a sight tape on it 2 days ago. And I mean, did you really put time into getting to know your equipment or how it shoots under pressure or stress and, just actually understand it? No. And then they'll sell it and they'll buy a new one. And it's like, okay, that's not the way I'd approach it, but, to each their own.
I mean, it's nice for people that are involved with a bow shop.
I mean, yeah, it keeps me employed. So, I mean, I appreciate you guys, but at the same time, for the animal's sake, for your sake, and just for, the love of the game in general, get to know your equipment, put your work in.
Amen to that. What, did you notice, have you been paying attention to like social media and different stuff like that with the birds and stuff people are killing this year?
No, I'll be honest, I haven't really made time to just kind of scroll through and see what's going on. But I have seen a couple like, double beards or, just some really cool birds that get posted. But for the most part, I haven't seen a whole lot.
Right on. So I have seen and had pictures and stuff sent to me from a bunch of different people. Like we're talking 5 or 6 people that this year I'm calling it the year of the double beard. Like, no kidding. So many people have shot double beards this year.
Yeah, that's an intriguing thing. It makes me wonder, just what kind of genetic causes that or, what really sets them up to do stuff like that.
But I was wondering the same thing. And then on top of wondering that, kind of like the crazy thing, if you get to looking up like what actually a turkey's beard is, it's just undeveloped feathers. It's the same deal as the rest of the body of the bird. It's just undeveloped. It's feathers that don't turn into feathers, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a bunch of them in a little spot. It's kind of wild, how they grow over time. And then obviously they don't develop the softness of the feathers and obviously the extensions that come out off of the main branch there. But yeah, it's neat when you actually break it down on a scientific level too.
Turkeys, I mean, I know you love them too, but turkeys are by far like one of the coolest things running around in the woods. Like they are ridiculously cool.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, their heads change color on emotion, based off how excited they are. If they get, scared or, if they're just calm and relaxed, their heads can very literally change colors. And if you've never seen it, go out in the springtime when it's, mid-March before turkey season starts and just go watch birds as they get really hot. For mating season, and you'll see a slew of different colors on their heads, and then how their feathers protrude off of their bodies and stuff based on emotion, and the colors that come across their veins. It's really, really cool. They are really, really majestic bird.
It's nuts. What do you think, being somebody that's harvested a lot of turkeys? I just want to hear you say it. What do you think like their heads feel like when you touch the head after you've harvested the bird?
Man, it's not an appropriate thing, but they definitely don't feel nice. It's a really weird experience. I don't know if I want to finish that answer there, Aaron.
You don't have to. Anybody that's shot a bird knows exactly what a turkey's head feels like.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I was setting you up to see what you'd say. Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
I was trying to be as professional as I could with my answer.
Nope. I appreciate it. That was so funny though, because I knew that you knew that I knew what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
You understood.
Oh yeah, people. If you don't know what a turkey's head feels like, or if you're listening to this podcast, you should. If you're feeling really froggy, you can comment below and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Or better yet, please don't.
Or just let Ryan shake his head in peace at Aaron's question, and we'll have to pray really hard tonight.
Oh yeah, I couldn't help it. That was too perfect.
That was funny. No, that was funny.
I can't think of a better way to wrap up the podcast right there. What do you think, buddy?
Nah, I'm good with that, man. I've had a great time talking with you, and just kind of, how we finished out turkey season. Obviously, I tagged out. You got you a giant bird. Something I've never done is kill a double, and I hope everybody had good seasons. Ours just finished up, so.
Yep, I will say Ryan, as super pumped as he was for me shooting a bird when we flipped that thing over and he was a double beard, Ryan goes, "Come on!"
Like, you sorry rascal! I can't believe it. All these birds I've killed, you killed double. But no, I was so excited for you. But I did shake my head and laugh, and I was like, "That son of a gun."
That's how it rolls, man. No, I greatly appreciate you, buddy. Greatly appreciate you.
No,
well, y'all,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Lodge. If you've ever got any questions or ever have anything you want to hear us talk about on The Lodge, please feel free. Send me an Instagram message. Be more than happy to talk about it. If you're ever interested in coming on The Lodge, let us know. We're just a group of guys that really like to talk about hunting and really just love living the outdoor life. Ryan, you got anything you want to add to closing off?
No, not at the moment. Just like I said, really enjoy doing this. For those that have questions or want to ask and learn more, or give opinions on stuff, I'm all for it. Right, wrong, indifferent. We'll try our best to talk about stuff and figure out what you want. So, thanks again, like I said, as always, for checking us out.
Heck yeah. Well, y'all, tight lines and double lungs. Have a good one.